Hey, we are live. Johnny Five is alive. I'm Kurt. This is Darren. This is the Adderstone Game Stream. Pew pew pew. Do you know that reference? Johnny Five is alive.
No. The only Johnny I know is Johnny Vegas, the old Hanna-Barbera cartoon. I don't know what that brand is called.
Hanna-Barbera.
Hanna-Barbera. That's pretty close.
Yeah, that's pretty.
But there was Johnny Five alive?
Johnny Five
no
alive.
idea. Oh.
That is from Short Circuit, a movie from 1985 with a very problematic depiction of a white guy playing an Indian in blackface and a intelligent robot. So look it up, kids.
Cool.
Short Circuit. How you doing this week, Mr. Darren?
I'm okay. Yeah, I'm good actually.
Wonderful.
We didn't stream last week, which made me sad. But I was happy because I had a good friend who was here visiting from Japan, so I vowed to spend time with him.
Right.
And
a mutual friend was visiting Japan.
Yeah, that's right. Shout out Jesse. Shout out Jesse. And I took him to Caerphilly Castle, which we all know and love. It's part of Avalon.
Yeah.
And it was where I filmed the video for the Kickstarter campaign. If anyone has seen that, the last little snippet, me live saying hi, is at Caerphilly Castle. So yeah, that's why I took him. It was a good time.
That was my first DJ gig ever. Is your wedding?
So actually, you know what? So we're gonna be a rapid place today because Kurt's not feeling so great, and we've got a lot of work to do. So we're gonna get stuck in and kind of skip over our rambling introductions. However,
fine with that.
First, I want to do a YouTube review, which is going to look at some of the comments from our previous video because we had some. And one of them is directly pertinent to what you just said. So I'm going to do this.
I haven't seen these comments yet, so you need to.
So you get live reaction. Wow.
Yeah. Ooh, live reaction. That's what the kids do now, right? That's the reaction content. That's what matters.
Yep.
That's what people love.
Okay. So screen share. Right. So our previous video, we went through the Pen Draig clan lands, which are up here on our map of Avalon. But we had some lovely comments. And the first comment was from Tuup, 1895. And Tuup said, "Another great stream." Thank you, Tuup. Very kind of you.
Oh, thank you.
They said, "I wish I could join live, maybe one day. The Kurt and Darren deep lore is amazing. I need more, LOL." And that was in direct response to us talking about my super long playlist, I think, and we had like a whole music section that was 20 minutes long.
Oh yeah. That's I do like that lore. I there's some bangers on there, by the way. You guys should check out this playlist.
I linked the playlist in the video on YouTube. It's where is it? Oh, here. Bonus link to Darren's mega YouTube playlist, and it is here. This is my music playlist.
I regret now that I don't have a playlist like that.
Yeah.
Because I think it's a cool idea. That especially for songs that I listen to. Maybe I should do that for my son, like songs that I listen to with my son as a chronicle of the stuff I listen to with Ren. I might start doing that.
Yeah. So look at this. We've got OMA hip hop. This is stuff I added recently, like the last few days, right? Then we've got Lisa from Blackpink. We've got Tom Day, who you probably haven't heard of, but he's an awesome atmospheric kind of electronic artist that I really like.
I've never heard of him.
You have heard of him?
No. He's pretty obscure. You probably never ever heard of him.
But have you heard of him? No, you haven't. Yeah, you should though. He's really good. And then because Jesse came over, this is stuff that Jesse introduced me to. I think I've heard of the Meters before, but he was like, "Dude," and I was like, "Yeah, this is not my playlist. It should be my playlist." There's some great fucking stuff. And then Nick Drake, who I think I'd heard of but hadn't consumed previously. And then turns out I love Nick Drake, so I added like his whole album to the playlist. Yeah.
No, that Pink Moon is a wonderful album.
Yeah.
And it actually got famous because one of the songs was in a VW commercial in North America back in the late 90s. And also he died very young.
I devoured like the whole biography just to see, and he was a weird guy. Anyway, we're already like messing up. I said we weren't going to do this, and now we're doing it anyway. But the point was, Tuup said they love the deep lore, and the deep lore for today is that Kurt DJ'd at my wedding, which was at the hall of Caerphilly Castle, outside of Cardiff. So Kurt's first DJ gig was at a castle.
How did I do, Darren?
You did freaking great. There's some awesome pictures of like kids dancing, and it was just the best time. Yeah, this is Caerphilly Castle here.
I don't DJ often, but when I do, I kill it.
Yeah, that's true. Then
Yeah,
other
and
comments on it. Oh, go on. Sorry.
Yes. No. Caerphilly Castle was wonderful. Wonderful place to visit.
Yeah.
So please do visit there if
And
you ever go to
Kurt,
Wales.
how do you spell carefully? You spell
Very
it.
slowly.
You spell
Letter
it
by letter.
You spell it carefully.
Yes.
Yes, you almost got there.
Yeah. No. I said yeah. Take it letter by letter,
Yeah.
real slowly.
Yeah, good. Okay, and then the other comment was from Beep6185. We've had comments from both these people before, actually, so that's nice. Beep said, just had a read through the playtesting kit, and it's awesome. So yes, last Friday we released our playtest PDF kit for all backers of the Face Seeker's Guide to Avalon Kickstarter campaign, which you can still get access to as a late backer. And they had a question about how you'd go about integrating some of the Face Seeker into a campaign. They said they'll be starting a Fairy Queen campaign soon, which is our campaign book against the Fairy Queen, starting from the prologue and everything. We'd love to hear it. And soon we'll be offering the Face Seekers content to the players. Do you recommend all the players be Face Seekers of some kind, since characters without Face Seeker abilities were missing it out in comparison? And I said, that's a great comment, and I wrote a really long answer, which I'm not going to read out on stream. You can go to the YouTube and find out about it, but yes. Okay, so that is YouTube comment review. Any thoughts, Kurt?
I didn't read your comment, so I don't know if I'd be retreading your thoughts. Yeah. So if you
don't bother, it's fine.
And you tell me if you disagree with me incredibly. I don't think you should force players to be Face Seekers if they don't want to be.
Yeah.
Like, there is still some downside, potential downside to using the ability and having to kowtow to higher forces, and that may not fit another player's vision of themselves, right? Don't let the power alone be a reason to be a Face Seeker.
Yeah.
But if they want to, and they all want to experiment with it, that's great. The other thing is, with regards to the lore about the Fairy Queen, we're going to comment on that in this book. But I think it's fun to keep that in mind if you want to get creative with it. There's not a lot about the fairy courts against the Fairy Queen except for
it's just mentioned in passing that the Fairy Queen was once part of the Mother's Fairy Court, that kind of thing. Yeah.
But if possible, I would suggest creating dramatic tension if a Face Seeker chooses to be a pen by Face Seeker, right? Because that could create different. If they're a Face Seeker and there's a scene where they meet, the Fae from the Evermother's Fairy Court, which is possible. That can create interesting dramatic tension as well. So I would keep that in mind as a game master. That would be my.
I basically said the same thing. It's just I designed the Face Seeker system to be as player driven as possible. So you give the systems to the players, and then they decide how much they want to interact with it or not, and if they want to pursue it, and then how they pursue it. I try to make it as GM hands-off as possible, because I know that GMs already have so much on their plate that they don't need another thing to worry about, basically. Okay, cool. Next, I wanted to do art review, because we skipped last week, so loads of art has come in since then. In fact, probably so much that I might forget some things. So I might be retreading stuff as well by accident. So for example, I know this is new. I think I showed a sketch last time, but here's like the final version. This is a depiction of the Pen Draig clanlands. On the left here we have.
Yeah, I haven't seen this yet.
Yeah, on the left here we have like a settlement built on the rocky cliffside inside the Pen Draig lands. I must admit the guy went a bit over the top with the towers, but hey, I don't mind it. It's fine. That's just part of the architecture, I guess. And it just shows life inside a town with a cliffside. And the right side is the kind of adventures you might take place in the Pen Draig clanlands. And you see
just one guy just straight up dying. Is that
that's what I said. It's funny. Originally, it was one guy dying. I was like, dude, can you give him a rope so that he's not going to die necessarily? And he was like, okay, fine. Because the original sketch, there wasn't a rope here, and he was just like, he's just fucking dead. I'm like, dude, can we throw him a bone so he's just not dead? And like, give him a rope. And he was like, yeah, okay, sure. So he's got a rope, so he's not dead. Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Good luck, King Man.
Yeah. Then we have. What else do we have? Okay, moving on. We have a bunch of art from our own Chrissy Diggs, which we'd love to see.
Hey.
We have this guy. I love this guy. This creature is called a trow. Yeah, it's kind of related to the like the Nordic trolls.
Yeah.
But it's still its different own thing. And the most fascinating piece of information I have about them is that they like music, but they can't make it themselves, so they try and lure bards away from towns and villages and campsites, and then capture them to have them perform music for them, essentially. So yeah.
And this is a what's the name of this instrument? God, it's off the tip of my brain. It's like a kind of a fiddle, but it's like one you
lay on a table, right, and you run the bow across it.
Yeah, it is a Welsh harp. I'll look it up. It's like a Welsh, not a harp, but harp instrument. I'll see if I can find the name. Maybe we could do it. What is it called?
Yeah. But yeah, again,
anyway, very cool.
This is something I really enjoy about doing the Avalon project. Is there's a lot of mythological creatures that barely have any representation in art at all. Like you search for a trow artwork and hardly anything comes up, if at all. And so we get to decide what these things look like based on the legends and stories that we can read, and then get to make artwork for them for the first time, which is really cool.
Also founded, by the way, it's a cruth.
Cruth.
It is a type of bowed lyre, a type of string instrument associated with Welsh music. It's archaic, but once widely played in Europe. So nice. Four historical examples survive. One is in Cardiff.
Cool.
One is in the National Library of Wales. One is in Warrington Museum Art and Museum of Fine Arts in Boston. So there's one in Boston.
Nice.
Cool. That's a nice little. Yeah, and they're old. So they're from like 1700 BC. So it is time appropriate. Good job, Chrissy Diggs.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then we have another Chrissy Diggs. This is a Coed Vig, which basically just means angry tree. And that's what these things are. I'm pretty sure, I don't know where treants come from exactly, but there is an old Welsh tale of a sorcerer turning a forest into a tree of moving warriors and sending them into battle. And so I wanted to represent that. And so we have our angry trees. And here is our angry tree.
Yeah, and what I like about it is that it is a lot more it looks very tree-like rather than like a human tree.
Yeah, that was exactly part of the brief. I was like, I don't want it to look like a person. I want it to look like a tree.
Yeah, like he doesn't have like eyeballs and like a mouth. It's like you can tell that it's moving and it's dynamic.
Yeah.
But it's just like a violent animated tree, which sounds fun.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what I could look up some inspirations for anthropomorphic trees, I'm sure, but long lineage of trees.
And this is my favorite creature in the Navarlan bestiary, I think, which is the Adar Llwch Gwyn.
Yes, the giant ass birds.
Yeah, the huge raptors that like riddles. Yeah. I think they're so cool. They're not really depicted in other places as well. And I didn't have artwork for them in the original book because I didn't have much room in the bestiary for art or much budget for it. So I was really happy when I could revisit it and add this to the game. In fact, these are my favorite creatures in the Varna, and I haven't done anything with them yet. As in, I haven't run a campaign that involves them. I didn't involve them in the Fairy Queen either. They just didn't fit into any of the narrative. But they're still my favorite, so I want to do something with them one day.
Now, why are they your favorite?
Because they're so cool, dude. The giant birds, they're predators of the sky. Because they're so cool and giant, I wrote into the lore that the Everfather, when he was a mortal, he rode one of these birds to slay dragons. And now his Tailwith Taig, his Fey progeny, do the same in the other world. They're dragon hunting, giant eagles that understand speech. And when they meet mortals, they pose riddles to them. And if the mortals don't get the answers right, they peck them to death. They're badass, and if you get it right, you can ride them. They're so cool. That's why.
Yeah. They're like weird, less weird looking sphinxes, I guess. Griffin. It's like a hybrid. It's like not any one thing. It's its own thing. But,
yeah. And I think they're the only creature that has a name located for them on the map. I think that's why I like them so much. I mean, rather, I like them so much I gave them somewhere on the map. Yeah. There's nowhere else that has the name after a creature, but the Luke Pass is here in the Pen Draig lands. Yes, they're awesome, and I love Christie's art for them. I'm really pleased with that one. Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. Cool. That is sick ass art, and we'll put on.
Oh, we still got more, dude. We're not even started yet.
Oh shit! How much? Ooh, okay.
We've got maps as well. Here, I teased this in the Kickstarter update, but you're going to get the full thing. You being people on stream. This is an abandoned druid conclave in the Penbythe Forest that's now been corrupted by something, and it's an adventure site in the book. So we have, and it's built into a giant oak tree. So inside the oak tree is where the conclave lives. Now it's been turned into some kind of corrupted ritual site, either by werewolves or dark druids. I don't know what. It's up to the GM to decide. But the entrance is here. There's some kind of ritual site. There's a staircase up and a ladder down. The ladder down goes into the roots underground, where there's a bunch of like standing stones there. There's weird vines and thorns. Then the upper floor is like a living space with some kind of worship room. Then the next floor is bedroom spaces with some kind of meeting room. And again, I like the way she's added like the vines to cover some of the doorways to imply to the GM that you can add obstacles in here and danger and stuff. Yeah. And the last one is a staircase outside, like a balcony that leads up to the canopy, where there's what used to be a shrine here with 3 figures, and is now completely taken over by the vines. So it's a place to explore, to liberate, to free somehow. I just think it's cool.
Cool. Yeah, it looks really good. What is the... So I'm thinking when I'm looking at this map of the architecture, is it each of the floors, are they... Do you imagine the planks or like purely hollowed out parts of the tree?
I think like hollowed out parts of the tree. The tree's wider than it, and then there's like sections built into it, and then there's a floor, and then a section. So it's kind of like built into the tree somehow, magically.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Dope.
And then we have another map as well, which is the Pen Levy Ruins. Oh no, we don't. Wait, did I not download it? Oh, she hasn't sent me the final version yet. Okay, next week then for that. I've seen the final version, but I don't have the final file. So you'll get that next week then. And then we have... Don't think you've seen the final version for the Ever Elder yet.
Yes, I think we have. Oh, of the Ever Elder. No.
No. I don't know what just happened. Okay, yeah, the stream's gone weird. 1 second. That's because I already had this program loaded. Okay, here we go. Here is the final version. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah. Now I did some editing here. I made. I think it was originally like this, but I wanted the background to Ever Elder to be like darker, like beyond somewhat. So I edited it to make it look more menacing in the background, kind of thing. But yeah, it's really cool. I like this.
Yeah. And there's like this kind of angler fish implication in how it's structured, right? The beautiful that draws you in, and the more foreboding creature hovering behind.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the Ever Elder, one of our gods. And that's that. And then we also have... God, we have so much. Actually, no, we're nearly done now. We have the Elil. Yes, I think these are the ones that you haven't seen yet.
I haven't seen Elil.
No, all the Fae are done now. This is a Telwyth Teg of the Evermother. He's kind of modelled off the Celtic god. I can never remember how to pronounce his name. It's Kuranos or Kuranos, something like that.
Kuranos?
Yeah.
Kuranos. The stag-headed god.
Yeah, and of course in concept he's called Nature Man. You can see the concept titles at the top there. Nature Man.
The Green Man is also a thing, right?
Yeah.
Like kind of inspired by a lot of the Green Man type mythology.
Yeah. And then we have an Elif. This is the ordinary Fae for the Evermother. This is directly based on our previous artwork we had for this type of creature.
I love the use of red for contrast.
Yeah.
And makes it look the petal-like aspect of it. That's really nice.
Yeah.
Which artist is it?
This Evermother.
No, I mean which the
artist. Sorry, so we said goddess. This is Geraldo Prado. He was with us with Against the Fairy Queen as well.
Yeah, they're all done. Okay, yeah, he does good work.
Yeah.
He also did the Morgan, right?
Yeah, he's done all the Fae artwork actually for this
Well,
project now.
Yes, he did all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, good shit.
And
No,
then
this looks.
we have Grass Boy, who's like a male counterpoint to the other Fae, but more of a friendly version. So I always do like an aggressive Fae, and then like a friendly Fae to show the contrast of how the Fae can be. Caesar.
Nobody says, "Hey, Sir Nunos, Sir Nunos, Sir Nunos."
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Sir Nunos. I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
sure
The C's are always a hard C.
Ooh, that's cool.
He's just
Hanging out.
just a little flower boy with some berries and stuff. Come say hi.
What are they holding? What are they holding in their hand?
Just some like berries and acorns and stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Well, those look very delicious. These
Yeah.
say yes.
Yeah. And then we have this, which is my
Yeah.
favorite. Best till last.
I think we've established how terrible my pronunciation always is with English words too.
Yeah.
So every I do my best, but I'm very very poorly with pronunciation of words in all languages that I speak. Oh, which one is this?
This is another Talbot Plague of the Evermother, and I wanted to do one that, because the Evermother and the Pen Draig are very religious and highly pious, I wanted to do one that kind of represented like a priestess or some kind of priestly kind of role in the Fae society. And this is what we came up with based on some references. And
Cool.
yeah, it's just awesome.
The hoop, the circle of flowers in a life that's rotating around her is quite fun. Is the hoop flower rotating like suspended in midair around her?
I think it is. Probably not too fast though. I don't think it's like a lethal object.
No, she's not like hula, but she's not like hula hooping either.
Oh no, yeah, it is suspended. Yeah.
Okay, so sure. Yeah, fun stuff.
Cool. All right, so that's it then. We've done YouTube review, we've done art review, we've done Kurt review, we've done Darren review, and now we can start work, I guess.
Oh yeah, I got engaged to get married last week too. That was another thing.
Oh yeah, Kurt review. Yeah, more Kurt review.
No, we didn't even talk about that on stream, but just a little heads up, everyone. I proposed to my girlfriend, one of the artists on Legend of Valen, and I proposed to her last week, and then that was a fun weekend.
Yeah.
I'll put the proposal in the chat. That's what I just did right now. Thank you, Zilphia, for saying congratulations. But yeah,
I like how you just had that ready to go. Yeah.
Oh no, I had open because I thought it would be fun to share it later.
Yeah.
That way we can just move on. I put it in the chat so we can move on.
Yeah. No, it's really good though, and yeah, I love you both dearly, and I'm very happy for you, and for Chrissy, and it's just awesome.
Oh yeah, when you come out for the wedding, we'll take some video and we'll share it when we do a stream or something. Yeah. And play some music. All right, so yeah, that's just a FYI. You could also YouTube us as Punk Rock Proposal, because I proposed to her with a punk rock song. So anyway, so there you go, getting busy weekend, busy week, and now we're ready to chat, aren't we, about the meat of today? Isn't that right, Darren?
Yes, that is right. So on our last few streams, we've been delving into the locations that we've already written about for our 5 clans of Avalon, and that's so that we can recap for ourselves what locations there is, and then consider as well what locations we want to add for each of the clans as we expand what's known about the islands and isles of Avalon for our upcoming sourcebook.
That's right, and we don't want to drag this out too long. Am I right, Darren?
No, we don't want to drag this out too long. So, Kurt, why don't you introduce to us the Pen Draig clan? What can you tell us about the Pen Draig?
Sure. The Pen Draig are a proud mountain people who worship the Everfather, who is...
I have one more art to show.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
It's exactly relevant to what you said. That's why I reminded it. We've got sketches coming for the Everfather.
Oh, cool.
Which are really cool.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
We can talk about the Everfather, who is the proud patriarch of the Everones. Oh man, he's a strong boy.
Hell yeah, he is. Look at this Giga Chad. We ended up going with B in the middle, pretty much exactly. I love this artwork. I think it's just awesome.
Yeah, he's like, and you know, he's not a human. I mean, sorry, he is human, but he's very
He once was human.
Once was human, yeah. In his, but his depiction is that of basically he's a badass warrior Santa Claus, right? He has
Yeah.
white hair.
He's the Celtic Sky Daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He slayed all the and.
You go.
Good.
No, you go. You go.
Well, I was gonna say that he got his they got his name from the clan got a name from the Draig and him slaying all the dragons and all that. So he's kind of the dragon slayer of the mythology of the ballad.
Yeah, he slayed the biggest dragon. And what I love about this artwork is that Rafa, my artist, he added this really. It just has cool ideas that he adds to artwork. And his cool idea this time was adding the volcano that becomes like the toga kind of piece thing strapped across the chest.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, dude, that's just so cool, man. Because I told him, like, their father's seen depicted as a mountain, and we have artwork of him from the previous book, right? We have this artwork. This is the artwork I commissioned from previously, and it's to show two sides to him, right? One is the slumbering, meditative sky father who brings peace and justice to all. He's covered in moss because he's so slow, and his beard and hair is made of clouds, right? And then you have this raging version of him, of the steaming volcano, of what can be unleashed if need be, and he has thunder coming out of his, cloud beard and whatnot. But this time we're doing one illustration, so like I want to combine these two elements somehow. How do we do that without it being confusing? So I said, like, I want him to be a mountain. I want him to have moss to show how old and strong and stoic he is. But there needs to be like an underbelly, literally an underbelly of some kind of like heat and lava that can be used for crafting and can be used for aggression. So I said, just make his like belly red or something like that. And then so that's what he did here. He made the belly red here and gave like red underneath the body a bit. And then on this one, again, you can see like red in the chest. But then he has his own ideas as well, because I really encourage him to come up with his own ideas because it's good stuff. And that's where this volcano thing came on. And I was just like, yeah, let's do this. So awesome. I love it. Yeah. So.
Zovia said, literal mountain of a man.
Yes. Yes.
I thought he did a great job with the hair. It was very cloud-like as well.
Yeah.
As it trailed back behind him. So I hope that these are the sketches, right?
These are the sketches. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, in the original artwork too, that's in comply. Like his beard looks like a cloud, right?
Yeah.
So it's nice that he kept that consistent, and I like that. It's quite fun.
So
that's a fun art.
So we're talking about the Pen Draig, who are the clan that's founded by the other father. And we're just going to go through every location that we've ever done for them so far, right? So where do you want to start first?
Yeah. Well, one thing to start with is, even aside from the location that we mentioned in the book, is the fact that the Pen Draig have a unique setup amongst their clan, which is that there are four leaders. So if you play through, when you play through against the Fairy Queen, you will basically meet the leaders of these four clans. These four castles, which are named after whoever leads that clan, right? And currently it is caermons Talorc, led by Brendan Talorc, caermons Bride, led by Brendan Bride, a former Telu, caermons Alpin, and led by Charming Feely, who I like quite a bit. Is also the of Ever Stranger. Everfather rather, and then caermons Enna, who is a diplomatic magister who mastered Raxian magics. So and so those are four locations ordering the map, and we have to delve in, give them a bit more. I mean, we do feature caermons Enna, which is the closest to some location that we're going to talk about. And from against Fairy Queen. So we do show a bit of that in their area.
But to put a point on what Kurt said a second ago is that the Pen Draig have 4 Brenin, where most of the other clans only have 1, right? The Pen Baith have Brenin Daedica, the Pen Kawa have, I forget his name, from Kawa Dunham. We've done the least with the Pen Kawa, so they're the ones that I forget the most, funnily enough.
Was it Giganticus?
Yes, that's it. Thank you.
Yeah, if I'm saying it correctly.
Yeah, the Penafunk have the the... What's her title? She has official title. The
Sincere?
Sincere, yeah, that's it. Oh yeah, it's written there, isn't it? Sincere, yeah, the Elder. And then the Penlevy themselves are actually unique as well. They don't have a Brennan, usually. They only have one in times of unified war, but otherwise they don't. But then even if they did, they still have one. Whereas the Pen Draig are 4 Brennan, they're all equal to each other, but they don't rule over their little mountain areas. Alright, let's get into it then, shall we? So do you want to start with Enna first, or do you want to start with Brede first?
We can start with Enna, because we're gonna write some stuff that way. The caermons Enna is at that's the southernmost one, right?
Yeah, it's the one that's closest to the rest of Ireland, or closest to the south anyway.
Yeah. And in her lands, that's where they hold the Valley of the Everfather is not too far from caermons Enna.
Yes.
Which is where the Cabar games are held against the Fairy Queen.
I think it's called Valley of Triumph. I think it's called Valley of Triumph.
Valley of Triumph, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm looking for it right now, which is
cool because we ended up making the Court of Triumphs anyway.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean I have that right here. I can show it on screen for everyone.
The Valley of Triumph.
Here we go. Yeah, here is the Valley of Triumphs. And so the Pen Draig people live in the mountains. They have a lot of farmsteads up the mountainside, and then there are these large forts that are near the tops or tips of mountains or in valleys that guard the way through. And they're also kind of, I guess there must be some nomadic kind of people that like goat herders and that kind of thing that move through the valleys and through the mountainsides.
Right.
Must be
yeah. So there's gonna be pockets of agriculture and farming and mining villages and stuff like that. But most of them are also situated around one of the 4 castles, which, and then in times of war or shelter, need for shelter, they're able to retreat to go up to the castle.
Yeah.
And also those are centers for trade as well, I imagine.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm now searching the book to see if we've done anything. I don't think we've written anything about caermons Enna, but we might have done for Enna. But then I guess there's more stuff about Enna in the against the Fairy Queen, right? So I should probably check there first, really. And I just realized the section for Enna is a foolhardy mission because the word adrenaline and the Senate comes up. So yeah.
So actually, some background writing lore. When we originally wrote the games, I think it started with a scene at caermons Enna, but we decided to speed up the action, and instead, the games begins with you going straight to the festival grounds.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So yes, that is correct. So I don't think we actually have much about caermons Enna, but we do have about Enna herself, the leader.
Yeah, we have stuff a lot about Enna herself, and then we say, let's see here, what a foothills cave system overlooking the ground. I'm trying to look for in Fairy Queen what we say about caermons Enna. I mean, we say that the Cabar games are held by caermons Enna in the Valley of Triumph. But I don't know. It doesn't make note of like how far or how close the actual castle is. I don't think.
Yeah, no.
But it does say that it's let's see here. Values, the Moscow said. Yeah, okay. So we have a little bit of flexibility in how far it is from those grounds.
Oh wait, caermons Enna. Based in the southern mountains, the Pen Draig clan, Enna's tribe deals. Oh, that's just the name of the clan. Yeah. But I can yeah. Okay, so yeah, we don't really have. I don't think we have anything for any of them really. The other mention that I have of a caermons is one of the short stories in Legends of Avalon, and I'll bring that up in a second. I just want to read a little bit more about the Pen Draig environment.
Yes. So that also it's their landscape is dominated by the Thames Peak.
Yes.
But most of the clan members are in the lower mountain ranges and foothills and valleys. But the territory is very fertile. And this is we mentioned that travels marvel at the lynchets, like the farming terraces that elevate. So
where is that?
This is in the games. This is in, I guess, Fairy Queen.
Yeah, where?
That's on page 253.
Where I'm also on page 253. What section title
Under
or
environment.
environment? Oh, thank you. Yeah, cool, perfect. Thank you. I'm going to put that in here as well, just to describe the land better.
For sure.
Okay, nice. In that case, then, caermons NR, we don't really have anything written about it. So, I do want to show what we have about, I think, caermons Talorc. And again, it's not much. I think it's just an illustration. And I think the end result is going to be that we can kind of do whatever we want with these places because there's really not much written.
Hey, sorry, chat. I hit my keyboard, and now there's a bunch of like dots and lines.
Cool.
That's
yeah.
Silly.
So this artwork depicts one of the caermons. I think it's caermons Talorc. It is caermons Talorc, yeah. Because the story here says this is Idri, a mage. He strides up the winding stairs to the entrance of caermons Talorc. He has an important meeting with a local merchant. But I don't think there's much here about the caermons. So again, it's just artwork. And so we can see what we can say of caermons Talorc is that it's an inward facing on a lake at the very least, right?
There we go. That's canon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Caermons and our posts. And you're right, I mentioned the Valley of Triumph is really useful because just as a passing, we can mention it and also mention the K-Bar games at the same time and mention the idea that it rotates around. And I guess that also encourages us to mention other locations near the other caermons where the games are held.
Sure.
And then why are they held there. So the Valley of Triumph features like a giant statue of the Elder Father slaying a Draig, right?
Right. And it could be that caermons, one of them actually has a big fairground or a big place where people can stay, right? Like in or about the castle. Maybe caermons Talorc. caermons Talorc strikes me as a athletic place.
Yeah.
Where that might be a thing.
We have artwork depicting the fortress surrounding an inner pool / lake. If we're a lake. A lake. That's all we have about it, really. And then...
Yeah, which...
You're gone.
So here's the thing. As we develop stuff too, right, for these caermons, there's just this tricky thing of how unique do we make each of them? And how similar do we make them, right?
Yeah.
If caermons Enna is the lake, center of the lake, and that's pretty cool. Does each of them also have to have their own really unique identity and look, or are they more standard castles and
I think
mountain fort?
I think I've kind of. I don't think they have to be unique. I think caermons Talorc, we've got artwork for it here, so we have to stick to that, and it's got a lake in the middle. We can make something of that. We know caermons Bride has constant warring with the Pen Levy from against the Fairy Queen. Now, I don't think the Pen Levy make it all the way to caermons Bride because it's the ultimate fortress high up in the mountains. But the fact that they do constant war with them should be mentioned and should be part of the architecture and design. The tribe of the Pen Draig that sees the most combat action, right? Even though caermons Talorc talks the big talk, Bride actually does fighting regularly. So I think maybe they should somewhat reflect their leaders, and not because the leaders have molded the castle or the fortress, but perhaps they've been chosen as leaders because they reflect the history that's there. So Brennan, we know that Brennan Enna is more diplomatic, and her fortress is in the south of the Pen Draig lands, which is closest to the Pen Baith. It's close to the borderlands, close to the Pen Levy, closest to the Raxians. She's had experience visiting Raxians. She can speak Ataraxian. So that means it implies to me that the caermons Enna should probably be some kind of more multicultural trade hubbish, educational mixing matching kind of location, perhaps, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Although there's an argument too for caermons, Alpin to be that, because we've established him as the more of a big trading hub as well, but like a coastal trading hub.
Yeah, he's a coastal trading hub. Yeah, you're right. He could be coastal trading. Caermons Anna could be diplomatic meeting. She can be the branch between the Pen Draig and the rest of the world, essentially.
Yeah, he's the domestic clan, whereas the caermons Alpin are the ones who are more likely to know how to use a boat.
Yes. So yeah, well there you go. We've already done it. Brennan, Caermons Bride, War, not Torn, but War. Caermons Talok is all bluster and has this lake in the middle of it. Enna is a place of talk, knowledge, diplomacy between the Pen Draig and the rest of the world. And Alpin is coastal trade with the rest of the world.
Yeah. Although Caermons Bride is also closer to the Penavant land, so yeah, but it's also nestled in its own mountains. Well, how do you feel about that? I mean, obviously all of them will have their own train gates going, but
yes,
but that's okay to consider too. Now, I had something on the tip of my brain to bring up regards to these 4 castles. Oh yeah, and the other important thing to remember is the fact that the castles do change their name depending on who the current Brennan is, right?
Yes, yeah.
And so yeah, making a note of that again. And did we discuss? Yeah, we discussed somewhere in the games about like the previous name of one of the caermons, right?
Yes, yeah. Caermons Bride was previously Caermons Lilybet or something.
Yeah. So having like, what do you call it?
Yeah, we should include the previous names in there as well.
Oh yeah, and then having a ceremony is pretty. That would be an important feature of the culture, right?
Yeah.
Like it wouldn't just be like, oh, okay, so and so passed it down or died. Okay, well, we're just changing the name now. It needs to be like a whole thing.
Yes,
of
that's
like
true.
changing.
Yeah.
The coronation of a new Brennan, so to speak, would be way more involved than the other tribes, I imagine. Clans, I'd imagine.
Yeah. Place that reaches out and speaks to the rest of the world right. Not officially. Self-imposed. Okay. So then let's do Caermons Alpin then next. Caermons Alpin. Oh yeah, you're right. We should write down that Caermons are named after current leader. I have considered, like, that's one of those things where I kind of regret saying it. Like, same with like the Penavant wearing masks, but now we said it, we have to commit to it and make it work, which is interesting in its own right? And I do wonder that each of the tribes that make up the Pen Draig, I don't know if they should have another name, because there has to be some way to associate with them for the continuation of all the ages, right? Like, or do you just always call Caermons Enna until it changes and then you just always know, right? Like, should they be the southern Pen Draig and then we got the eastern, northern, and western? Or another name for them? Like the foot of the dragon, the mouth of the dragon, the wing, the tail? Like, yeah, we could do that. I really like that. Like, Caermons is like the claw, Alpin's the jaw, Talok is the wing, and Bride is like the tail.
Sure, give them the subtitles in order to.
Yeah.
That way, there's a continuing thread.
Yeah. So
through line.
This is always the Draig's claw, right? And this is always the Draig's jaw or tooth or whatever.
Sure. And Alpin the Draig's tail.
Oh, I put the dragon facing the other way. So the dragon's facing left. So that the Alpin is like the jaw, and then Bride is the tail. But yeah.
Base down, and caermons is the
Turlock could be the horn,
claw.
or could be the wing. Yeah.
I feel like Telork would be the claw, and
Yeah,
Enna
but
would be
the
the
claw
wing, right?
can't be the top. The claw is
I mean, if
underneath.
you look at it, yeah, well, because you're looking at the map this way, but
Yeah.
from their point of view, it's the Jedi who are evil.
Sure. Okay. But anyway, so what do you think of that? Do you think that's worth thinking about?
Yeah, I do. I do. And it makes a lot of sense. There is so basically when they name the region, the castle, caermons Alpin after their leader, out of deference to whoever's the head, right? Because that's the important thing. The reasoning for that is the fact that with the Everfather, hierarchy is really important. It's kind of hierarchy is important, right?
Yes.
And not necessarily man and women, because there's like male and female Brennan. But whoever's the head, is you pay deference to them. But colloquially, referring to the castle or that clan as the head of the dragon, or the claw of the dragon, whatever we decide, the Draig, the wing of the Draig. I think that works, and it can work itself into. It can work itself into iconography.
Yeah, it's funny because I've tried to do that already. Like, I brought this up now already, but you see these. This is a scene from Against the Fairy Queen. At the K-Bar Games, when two of the Brennan, this is Brennan Enna, and this is Brennan Talok, have a verbal fight that almost ends up violent. And I have the different colours of the flags here represent each of the different tribes. And originally in my brief, I wanted each of these to be associated with like an eye, a tooth, a wing, or something. Completely shamelessly ripped off from Tarkir from Magic the Gathering.
Yeah. Dragonstorm, let's do this.
And then I don't know why it just didn't. I think it was just like too much detail to add. There was just other stuff that was more important, and so it didn't end up in the design. But it was always my intention that something like that would be the case, which is a shame now because if we add it now, it's not going to be there and against the Fairy Queen present. But it's not like it's not backwards compatible or whatever, you know.
Sure.
Yeah.
And actually, the way that the color scheme we chose worked, right? Like blue is like the wing of the dragon because of the sky. Yellow could be the eye of the dragon.
Yeah.
The red could be the claw of the dragon because of the blood, and green, the tail could be the tail of the dragon because that's the body of the serpent, right? So, yeah, it works.
Yeah.
I like it. Good job, Darren.
Okay, cool. All right. So caermons Alpin then. So what do we say about Alpin in here?
Alpin is a sneaky boy.
Yeah, sneaky chap.
He's actually adopted, so he's actually from elsewhere, and it's clearly not of the same. But he's kind of like a boy genius.
This is Brennan Alpin. Yeah.
Yeah, because of his intellectual prowess and so on, has kind of put him. He's very witty, and he's very, very crafty and a schemer, and he has an outward appearance of like a dandy and a feely and an entertainer, but really he's constantly thinking of how to get the upper hand for his tribe and their clan and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So he has designs and schemes and machinations that are not fully obvious to people that interact with him, and he's also a charismatic chap.
So, and the key thing about him is that he's always looking for opportunities. So where do we lay out that they're super into trade, Kurt? Where does that happen?
Lay out what now?
About the trade thing.
When you look at his
he wants a new port in the Blue Days. That implies that he's into port trade. Yeah.
Yeah, like kind of what his intent is. Like I think when he's doing negotiations for, remember when spoiler alert, when they go into negotiations for support for the trial against Peredur, he has the most like mercantile designs during court. He just wants to get advantages during the negotiations. I'll see if I can find the
Yeah, I have his schemes here. He says Alpin's always looking for opportunities and secretly views his fellow Brennan with contempt. He plans to use his tribe's recent wealth, which is an interesting thing we should note down, to indebt the other Brennan to him. Alpin will share his ideas with heroes who earn his trust. He understands he might not achieve all these goals, but is confident he can make progress on at least one of them during the games. For Talok, he views Talok as obnoxious. He's willing to fund Talok's crusade against the Borderlands or replace him, promising son of Peridir, and his motivation for that is that, war means money and trade for weapons and stuff. For Enna, he wants to leverage her diplomatic connections to establish Raxian-inspired schools in each of the caermons, which Alpin would subsidise and co-develop. And Bride, he wants to co-administer a new port, I'm not sure, to open more trade routes for their clan. So that implies Conan's Bride doesn't have a port, or has a port anyway, so they're not really focused on trade. And he wants to change that.
But he has ambitions. He has ambitions too.
Yeah, no, not for Alpin. Bride doesn't have a port, or at least a good port.
Oh, right, yes.
Which is, again, knowledge by accident, implied knowledge, right?
Yeah.
So, I would say here, focused on trade is the largest, or is not necessarily the largest, but I bet Talok is also almost always, I can't talk, I'm too excited. Talok is also near the coastline, right? And I bet Talok has the biggest port. But
sure,
Alpin's port is busier.
Yes.
It's like a sore spot. Yeah.
We have a great port. No one's ever had a port as good as us.
Yeah, okay. It has the busiest ports for trade and business. Yeah, for trade. Okay, so yes. Okay, cool. Then let's just do all the caermons then while we're at it, and then we'll do the other locations afterwards. Okay. So caermons Talok is next. Is caermons Talok the biggest caermons? Because caermons Bride is also large. But I feel like it is. I just feel like the way that he acts makes me think that they have like big standing and feel like they should be in charge when they're not in charge, but they have a reason to think that they're in charge. That's probably the reason why.
I think they're the sword. They have the strongest military culture.
Yeah.
And they're willing to...
Even though it's untested, right?
Yeah, but I mean, they'll still
But that's the point.
In,
that's why it's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. And Tribe will still engage in raiding, because that's just the thing to do.
Yeah.
When you're a Valak, right? Tribes will raid each other, and they're the ones most likely to raid their neighbors, but out of honor rather than it being out of a. Unlike the Pen Levy, they do it with honor.
Biggest caermons, I'd say most proud, most grand. Yeah. I'll just put showy.
Ostentatious.
Ostentatious, is that the better word for showy?
It can be. Depends on the nature of it. Okay. I mean, they can be they're kind of bluster, right? They're not necessarily...
Bluster, yeah.
Yeah, they're not necessarily wearing a bunch of gold, but all the Pen Draig culturally really value honor.
Yeah.
But they value honor the most.
Yes, yeah. So if it says cocky, yeah. Showy, cocky.
A chap with many ulterior motives. That is our gang.
Okay. Value honor the most, yeah. Which in itself can be a dishonorable thing to do, right? Okay, or can lead to dishonor anyway. Value and triumph. Let's move this to... Where did Anna go? There she is. Okay, then lastly we have caermons Bride. Actually, not lastly, I should just check to see the caermons Talok section and see if there's anything on there that could be useful. Where are you, Talok?
Page 295.
Oh, he's just not in that section, he's in a different section, isn't he?
Oh, that's right. No, they'll be his actual profile will be earlier on.
It is earlier on, isn't it? I just didn't put the artwork there, maybe.
It would be page 258.
258. Oh yeah, here it is. Thank you. Talok, based in the north and western mountains, the Pen Draig clan and Talok tribes boast the largest territory amongst the 4 tribes. There you go. I knew it was in my head somewhere. Biggest caermons, largest territory. Amongst the Pen Draig. And does that bear out on the map as well? I think so, right? That implies that caermons Alpen kind of has the peninsula, basically.
Yeah.
Like his mountains, like north of his mountains is caermons Talok territory, and he's just got that little bit of the south, and that's why he's focused on the water so much, I suppose.
Yeah.
And then Talok has all of that, plus Cogoth Athair, part of the Thames Peaks, all the way to where it says Pen Draig, I guess, which is then caermons Brede. So yeah, he has a huge territory. Yeah, okay, cool. And then caermons Enna is like the valley into the Thames Peaks, I guess, near the borderlands and stuff. And then caermons Brede is that plains, the upper plains, and that mountains. Cool, that's cool. Alright, that makes sense.
Yeah, and it's not like there's, district lines or anything like that. So I imagine there's going to be tribes and stuff like in between. They were like, well, we're kind of in between these two. And
yeah, exactly. But it's easy to say north of these mountains, right? It's Talok, south of them is Alpin. But then, yeah, if you're a tribe on the borderlands, it's like, who do you swell fealty to? It's up to you. Yeah. Oh yeah, he comes from humble background, doesn't he? Yeah. Or he's a bit.
He comes from what now?
A humble background.
Yeah, he used to be a kid one. Yeah. And I like this character. Yeah, his relationship too. He was like a great warrior, and then his current queen was it? How do you say it? Queen Oif Maintai.
Yes.
Ifa.
Yes.
Queen Ifa Maintai. Is like a Lady Macbeth type character.
Yeah.
Where she's like manipulating him with her wiles and her
just encouraging him to gain more and more power, right? To boost herself.
Yeah. You think? Okay, yeah. I don't know if we'll put this in the book and maybe in the secrets.
Yeah.
I do think a potential adventure campaign thread is a War of the Four Brennan, where like Heller gets tired of just being. He wants it all, and so all of a sudden you have civil war between the tribe.
I mean, it almost happens in Against the Fairy Queen, so yeah, it should be a plot point to mention. Yeah. Alright, cool. Now, I don't think there is anything here except the largest territory part, which is useful, I guess, so yeah. Okay, then caermons Brede. We've just said, based in northeastern mountains, it falls to Brede's tribe to protect the mountains from being overrun by Pen Levy raiders. Yeah, so she's like they're responsible for keeping the Pen Levy out.
Yep, and that vibes with her background as being a former bodyguard to the previous Brennan, Lilybeth. So far we have, for the previous Brennan, there was Brennan Lilybeth, and there was also Brennan Ennerin.
Oh, for the previous Talok?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I should say previously caermons, how do you spell it? Do you have it?
caermons Talok was caermons. Was it Ennerin?
Oh yeah, I found it. Yeah. A-N. Yeah, well done. Yeah, and Urin. Yeah. Okay, previously caermons thingy, and then yeah, caermons Brede. We can also say previously caermons Lilybeth. Okay, cool.
Oh, and Brennan Enna quiz. What was Brennan Enna? What was it before Brennan Enna?
I have no idea.
Brennan Gwynnick.
Really? Where's that?
Gwynnick. It says that where the others earned their crowns from the previous Brennan, Enna's was handed. Oh, maybe no. Okay, I could be wrong. Because here it says where the others earned their crowns from the previous Brennan, Enna's was handed to her by her father, Gwynnick.
Yeah, that sounds like it's passed down. I read a story.
Yeah. So the other ones weren't related to their Brennan, but she was.
Yes, yeah. Is that in Legends of Ireland or is that Against the Fairy Queen?
That is Against the Fairy Queen under Brennan Enna's backstory.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man.
Oh yeah,
so many.
Huh?
Of.
So many what?
So many things to keep track of.
Yeah. You would say here, Enna is the youngest Pen Draig Brennan and the only one to inherit her position.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Handed to her by father, Gwynnick. Yeah, cool.
So the only territory we don't know the previous Brennan of is
Alpin.
Brennan Alpin. Is that true?
Yeah. I don't know if it's true, but I haven't checked thoroughly. Who's the caermons? But that says something about the Pen Draig, right? I was speaking to Jasmine about this earlier, actually. Is that it seems that the Pen Draig Brennan are more frequently positions that are earned and not inherited.
Right.
Whereas I think the Pen Blythe, they can like trace their Brennan ancestry back to the Evermother, allegedly, right? And that might be true of the Pen Cawer as well. Obviously, the Pen Levy have nothing like that, and the Pen Avank get a new lady in every time, right? Yeah.
Sure. And the Pen Levy might have had that before, but just
no, they never had that. And there might be times where someone takes over, but it's like
no. What I mean is during during the Golden Age, before the lands went to shit again.
Well, during the Golden Age, it was the god themselves that ruled, right?
Sure, they were the god.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, so Alpin, I don't know. Let's see. Oh yeah, he's recently discovered large gold veins in his lands, and increased sea trade has made his tribe the wealthiest of the four. Okay, yeah, I should write that down as well. Oops, how did I miss that? Caermons.
He's an enterprising lad.
Yes, recent gold. So we should include the gold mines or whatever, or gold something.
Sure.
No, I don't think we mentioned the previous Brennan. So
no,
that's
I don't think we do.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. Caermons Bride. So it should be more battle orientated. Also, Alpin implies that the water/port connections are poor. So less trade orientated. Okay, cool. So then those are the major cities in the Pen Draig lands. And looking at the map, we did not make space for any larger settlements or towns. I guess looking at the map, it's kind of implied that Enna and Alpin's caermons are smaller than Talok and Brides. But otherwise, there's no other smaller settlements here, so we've got lots of space for that.
Yeah. And I imagine we'd have to think about whether or not there's like notable. Yeah. What would a notable town or village look like in this context?
Yeah.
Think about
I know of one, and I know of another, and both are deep lore. One's deeper, one's less deep. So somewhere in here, there's a mention of a village, and this is like a mistake that we made before that I'm trying to rectify now. Although, again, Are
you talking about the village that makes Everfather's beard?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's like that place should be named in somewhere, right? So we say here, notably, one village atop the Thames Peaks exclusively produces the coveted fireproof fibre, the Everfather's beard, which attracts significant outside interest. So we didn't name that village here, but we should name that.
Harry McChinbeard. That's the name of the village.
Thames Peak Fire Beard Village, and that was Jasmine's idea. And the fire.
What village? What page is that in Fairy Queen?
It's on page 253. And for anyone that can guess about a coveted fireproof fibre called the Everfather's beard, it's asbestos, I think.
Yes, awesome.
It's awesome. Yeah. It's asbestos is canon in Navala. We just don't call it asbestos. We call it the Everfather's beard.
Canon.
Yeah.
And then if you end up using it, your character has a higher element of developing ailments. And being able to sue for a class action lawsuit against the Everfather.
Yeah. Yeah. And then there's one other place, I think, which is... I can't remember. This is a deep lore that you might not even know about. Because I've run campaigns in Avalon outside of the ones that have been published. And in one of those campaigns, the group started out, I think it started out as the prologue for against the Fairy Queen, and then we just went further before I wrote against the Fairy Queen. So they started in down here in the town you start in the prologue, and then they ventured onward, and they went up through this forest, and they went into the mountain range. And they went to a fort in the Pen Draig mountains, and they fought a battle there against the undead, I think. And I don't know what the name is, but I have to find it, because even though it's not anywhere written properly, but the fact that I've played in it and it existed somewhere at some point means I should probably add it, right? It's free to add.
It is now lore.
Yeah,
it's
it should
official.
be made canon. Yeah. Find that fortress your players defended in your Avalon campaign with Alex and Gelton. Okay, so then where else is there? Kogoth Ather. We should do that next, I guess. Kogoth Ather. What do we know about Kogoth Ather?
Kogoth Ather, that is the insane cave system, is it not?
Yeah, I think it is exactly that. It's the crazy cave system.
All caves lead to Kogoth Ather. Has a pebble of truth to it. The northern Valak tribes claim that one can travel from a cove in the southern coast all the way to Pen Draig's northern sea cliffs without ever having to set foot in sunlight. And then they also claim that some of the depths lead directly to the other world, intertwining with the caves under the Great Mountain of the Everfather. So yes, it is a location of potentially infinitely large dungeon / subterranean cave space.
Yeah. And we have some big caves in the UK. I don't know why we have big caves, but we have big caves, and apparently.
Aren't you guys? You guys are an island, right? So you're like a volcano. You're basically a mountain.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Actually, I'd have to do more research of that. I don't know how your tectonic plate.
Yeah, we're like directly connected to Europe, and there used to be a strait. There's been times where you can walk between England and France before they were England and France, right? During like Ice Age and things like that, and then all the ice melts away, and then it's all water. So we're directly on.
Now we need another Ice Age. Oh, that page also has one of my favorite limericks.
Oh yeah.
King. Yeah. Can I read it out loud?
Sure. Yeah. I've got it here on the screen.
Yeah. So page 143. Actually, you read it. You have a better accent for it.
King Dove found a prince for his daughter, a suitor to suitor and spoiler. But for dowry, Dove stole treasure from a Draig's hole, and the wedding day instead was a slaughter.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Stupid.
That's good. Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know for some reason.
Okay.
Plenty of.
Well, while I'm here, we should do the Thames Peaks then. Now I'll copy paste this. So, the Thames Peaks are the tallest mountain range in Avalon. Each year, warriors that come of age are sent into the Thames Peaks to retrieve a crown flower, a beautiful red and yellow flower that grows only at the highest elevations of the Thames. If they survive their journey, they are seen as worthy representation of the Everfather in battle. All crown flowers are then collected and sent as a gift to the Queen of the Pen Draig, even when the two clans are at war, as a symbol of the two deities' former love for each other.
Yeah.
Bards claim that the Thames holds a particular thinness that allows Draig to escape their confines in the other world and hunt amongst its peaks. And when visiting the caermons, storytellers are asked to share. That's fine. More people dying to dragons.
Yeah.
So
there's a thing I'm trying to find. I want to see if I.
But there's an interesting implication there, which is we might mention it somewhere else as well. But the implication is that the Pen Draig are always led by a woman. It's always a queen.
Always a queen, yes.
Yeah.
And it, let's see here. Oh, yeah. So what's interesting. We call it a crown flower.
Mm-hmm.
But in the Peak District in northern England, there's also a popular flower called a cloudberry that can only exist at like higher elevations.
Oh, interesting.
And it's also sort of inspired by the Edelweiss of Austria, Germany, right? Like the
Wait,
thing.
so you kind of mumbled then, or away from the camera, I can hear you.
It's all that bit of line is also inspired, obviously, by the Edelweiss.
Don't know what that is.
Edelweiss is like a flower in Germany, and German soldiers, the sign of a true German soldier was to venture into the mountains and pluck an Edelweiss from the Alps.
Let's see.
And put it on their what do you call it?
So do you know why we chose crown flower for this then? Because I'm looking at crown flower now, and they're not even native to the UK. They're like from Cambodia and Thailand.
No. It was just the name. It was just a fanciful name. So
so there wasn't a real thing. Oh, okay, cool. Well, then we could base our crown flowers off that other flower you just mentioned.
Yeah, their crown flower could just be a cloudberry.
Yeah, cool. Cloudberry. That's a cool name as well.
That's cloudberry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cool name too.
Let me put in brackets there. Also,
found. Yeah.
Cloudberry. But now I want to read about cloudberries. Go on, sorry.
Yeah, that's on the high moors of the Peak District in Northern England.
Yeah, the Peak District's really nice, dude.
I've never been. I would like to go.
Jesse went.
So yeah,
Jesse stepped into the Peak District.
Oh, he did.
He sent me photos the other day from the Peak District. Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, we I read about all these places.
Yeah.
Man, I wanna. We're working on it.
When you visit, we rent a car and drive to a whole bunch of places.
I would like that. I think that'd be a lot of fun
Yeah.
to rent a car and get out there and see places such as that.
Cool. All right,
I love that. I would enjoy that quite a bit.
Okay, so we have the beacon stones of Mons god Seth, which is
So this is like a weird, supposedly magical telescope.
Yeah, telescope. Yeah.
And they protect it, so it's like a secret. So this is what they say you can do, is if you stand on it on the at like the season's zenith, so like the equinox or whatever.
Yeah.
You can basically look across the world, kind of thing. That's what the legend says anyway.
And it's fun as well. It's like, well, what would you even gain from that anyway? You can't see anything.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. Exactly.
It's cool. That's what it is.
Yeah.
You can see across the world, and
I mean, to be fair, in Avalon, there are spells that work by range of sight, right?
Yeah.
And they're restricted to what you can see, with the usual implication being you can't see very much, typically speaking. But perhaps with powerful magics and using this particular location where you can see across the entire world, that means you can, in theory, listen and see anything that you would like, given enough magic and power. In fact, you can cast spells anywhere in the world as well, which might be a bit weird. You might be able to like summon fireballs on top of like kings' heads and stuff. Maybe that's a bit too powerful if we like make that canon. it's like a nuclear armament, intercontinental missile.
A plot to use the magic to look to the east at the Raxian Empire and try to fuck shit up by looking across the ocean is a potential thing. Yeah, this concept too is a little bit inspired, I think. But I wrote this bit. I had this idea. This is a little bit inspired by the story The Aleph. Are you familiar with The Aleph?
I think it rings a bell. Tell me more.
Yeah, it's like a Louise Borges story, short story. Look it up sometime. It's worth the read, I think. It's
ALEF?
Yeah, The Aleph. ALEPH. ALEPH.
Oh, PH.
So The Aleph is a story about like a guy who has dinner with another dude. If I'm recalling correctly, it's been years since I read it, but basically like I have this thing called the Aleph and it's really amazing. And it's like he has it in his basement or under a table or some shit. And he's like, and he doesn't believe him, so he looks at him. He gets under the table and he has this weird moment where his vision telescopes out and he can see like everything all over the planet all at once.
Yeah, that's
and it,
right.
Like rushes into his vision.
Okay.
It's like a weird, surreal.
I don't know this story, but I think I have heard the term the Aleph in science discussions and hadn't realized what it meant. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it comes from this story. I mean, I don't know if that's where Borges got it from. It could be that he got it from somewhere else, but I know it from that story.
It's all kind of him.
Yeah, so it's this kind of like whimsical in some ways it's Lovecraftian. It's like in the same way Lovecraft is like sci-fi-ish, right? Like kind of weird fiction. His is also kind of weird fiction. But it's a more positivistic, I think. But like I said, it's been a while since I've read it, and it's a very fun
I like
idea.
the idea. So I feel like that's like one of the things I want to do to expand on some things, like especially in the secret section. Like, what is the Beacon Stone to Monsgol Seth? What can it do? What is it used for? And we should put some, not rules on it, but
Sure,
it should be a thing. More concrete.
The game master should know
why they might introduce it to the game and what it can be used for. Yeah.
Exactly. Why it's useful, why it's interesting, the kind of plots that could happen there, what kind of information you can gain.
Because it's cool, right? Because like once we put a rule on it and make it a real thing that makes sense and can work, well then the players might have a reason to go there, to find out something or learn something, or the bad guys might have a reason to go there and you want to stop them, and protect it. So
100%. That's what this book is going to be filled with.
Exactly.
So yeah, we'll definitely flesh out that conceptually for players. Obviously, we just had a few sentences about it, and we don't. I mean, because we already describe it, but definitely mentioning those weird things and
like
giving,
what exactly goes on here.
I'm about it,
and then I think we're done, unless Fluke Pass. But I think we did Fluke Pass in the Pen Levy written text, didn't we?
Yeah, we have. I mean, the funny thing about the Pen Draig is, we do a whole adventure in the Valley of Triumph, so we just have to mention the Valley of Triumph.
I know, right? Yeah.
You have all the things that you could do there with the Goblin's Cave, and all that stuff. I think another thing is going into the truth about Cook Affair and like the act. We talk about the legends that do it, but maybe, talking about specific things that are in the deep lands and the deep world.
Well, I think we have to do like that. I think it's okay for it to just be a big cave system and be like, yes, as GM, you can have it connect to the other world if you want to. Maybe we could put some kind of legend there or stories, like local stories. But I don't think it's big. Anyway, I think Jasmine's taking care of the Pen Draig anyway. So this is
Sure.
Where shall we handle it?
Letter in Enjoy.
But there's lots of space though, isn't there? Really, like obviously having the 4 caermons was enough to have settlements on the map. We didn't have to add more.
I'm curious to see how. There's one other thing that you have to keep in mind.
Yeah.
Is
Gubert's Cliff
in the
as well. Gubert's Cliff is there.
Oh,
I forgot about that. I don't know what it's important about, but you tell me your thing first. I'm gonna write down Gubert's Cliff, so don't forget what you're thinking of. So tell me that. As well.
No, just a bit about how we mentioned that there's a glassy stream of melted stone in the vicinity of caermons, implying that they were built in defense. Under the Draig section,
yes. You're talking about the stones being melted by Draig fire, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Where is this? Legends of Avalon?
Yeah, page 144.
144. Legends of Avalon. 144.
Songs of dark shadows blotting out the sun. Huge scaly bodies pushing walls under their weight. Of warriors' half-finished bodies gnashed through like discarded morsels. Of countless families found suffocated in caves after trying to hide from the flames above. Songs of death and destruction. That's fun.
Yeah, I think you enjoyed writing that.
I like getting a little bit purple on occasion, they might say.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, that's fun.
Then I should put that at the start then for the caermons.
And then you have the cave. Yeah, we haven't talked about this cave at all.
What, Gubert's Cliff?
Yeah. Also, how do you say the pass, the southern border? How do you say
Luke Pass?
Luke Pass.
Yeah, we put that in the Pen Levy section. We talked about that a few weeks ago, actually.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Okay, so just that cliff.
So then, Gubert's Cliff. I don't think it's mentioned anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, is it just a cliff or is it something more?
We didn't end up writing about it. Oh no, wait. It is mentioned somewhere. It's mentioned somewhere.
Is it?
Deep lore. I included it somewhere. This is the Alchemist mini story introducing the Alchemist. in the Blizzard of Arnor book, and it says Aurelia examines Gubert's cliff face as it looms before her with none of the nervousness of her companions. She begins to concoct a climbing cordial that will help them scale the gigantic rock. Holding their collective noses, the group forces down the awful potion and begins their ascent. Aurelia's mind is wholly focused on the ingredient found within the Spriggan, living at the top. So apparently Spriggan, or at least a Spriggan, lives atop Gubert's cliff.
I mean, I have this theory about giants being all over the place and Spriggan being all over the world, but
so that
we can get.
Yeah.
It's in the book. It's canon.
Yeah. Spriggan top the cliff. Gigantic rock. It also implies that you can climb it from below, because I think where it is on the map kind of suggests that it's a coastal cliff, right?
Yes.
So I guess maybe that implies that she sailed there. Oh, it's a cliff on both sides, isn't it? Oh, it's a cliff on both sides. So no matter how you want to get on top of this thing, you have to climb it. Yeah.
It's like a wall of a cliff.
Yeah. Wall of the cliff. Spriggan atop it.
Man, she's pretty savage. Aurelia's pretty savage. She just wants to kill a Spriggan for her.
Oh yeah, she's a badass. I mean, she's really cool. I like Aurelia. I do wonder if we should include these characters as well, or not, because they're already here.
I do think we should have as we go into things, like have a directory of these characters.
Us personally, or in the book?
Us personally, yeah. We don't have to do it now, but...
So you're saying we should do what we're doing now, but for characters as well? Yeah.
Yeah, potentially. And talk about them and see how much more, how much more we should explore or see these characters in the world.
So Aurelia becomes a Primus. She's you go to page 77 of the Arnhem book.
Oh yeah.
She's the awesome Ruxian battle maiden artwork.
Oh, that's right.
And Aurelia eyes the Avonk, forming a plan, noting its numerous limbs. She sets her strategy in motion, pulling magic from the Aether as she parries an attack to glance harmlessly off her armor. The Primus calls her tactic through the spell, projecting it into her allies' minds. They each move in perfect unison to create an envisioned space, and Aurelia darts in with her now enchanted spear to strike the beast down. And then her personal lore is an excerpt from the survey of Avarlan territories and peoples therein. Before Aurelia, alchemists did not realize the true potential of Avarlan's otherworld. While brave in battle, many soldiers feared areas the Valak called thin. But Aurelia was from a lineage of great guild alchemists and would not let the trepidation of her lessers keep her from the rarest of ingredients, even at the risk of her own life. She sought the Valak mistress of combat, Scathach, who's an interesting character as well, and managed the perilous journey to her favoured fortress. She returned a powerful warrior and slew a beastly cower for a braid of its hair. She now carries the title of Primus, leading hunts into the other worlds with those braver enough to learn from her. So yeah, she hunts beasts for the juices to make potions.
She goes into the other world to do it, so she's a very interesting character.
And actually, that just reminded me of something, is that Scathach's fortress is a place that should exist on the map somewhere. Or maybe not on the map, because it's supposed to be a secret. And I think it's in the Pen Levy lands as well. It's in the Pen Levy or the Pen Draig lands.
Write it down.
Yeah. I've got more information on her, so I should... Yeah. A journey that all aspiring martial legends should take is that of the quest for Dún Scythe. Okay, we wrote it as Scottish Gaelic, so it's in the Pen Levy lands, yeah. The Fortress of Shadows. There one will find the greatest master in feats of arms that has ever lived, known as Scathach. I'm probably placing the name wrong, but the Shadow. She deems any that are brave and skilled enough to reach her fortress as worthy of her tuition. To do so, one must sail the treacherous Carrow Isles, walk the plain of ill luck, cross the Leaping Bridge, and then finally draw first blood in a duel against her son, Rythanos, who guards the gates with Falcata and dagger. After which one is awarded bed, food, and water for as long as they can keep up with Scathach's training, which involves pole vaulting over the fortress's walls, wrestling with Fiath underwater, and throwing javelins through stones. Yeah. And she's not a original character. She's an actual legend, an absolute badass. And I was like, that's so fucking cool. I want it. So where is it? She's doing Scaith. It kind of is Pen Levy, Pen Avonk area. KO Isles as well.
It sounds like Pen Avonk to me.
Yeah, she's south of the Treacherous Isles, yeah.
Yeah, so that they would be in the Pen Draig class. So that's
Cool.
good. That's good.
There you
That's
go.
on page.
We missed that. And
What
then
page is that again?
Yeah.
What page is that?
That's on page 111.
Yeah.
That's funny. I saw because of the bloody font. I saw 111 as Roman numerals, and I was like, 3? It's not page 3. This is not like the pre-book, or was it like 11 like I like the appendix or something? It took me a long time to process that. That's 111.
Yeah, we just have to. Yeah. What we're doing for the locations, we don't necessarily have to do it on stream, but yeah, going back and just making sure we get a lot of our characters straight and see which ones could be
Yeah, returning.
expanded. I think it's interesting.
I don't know. I think it depends. Only if they have like a prominent role. You're right. We should check to see if they have prominent roles. Otherwise, I think it's fun if one book has one character, another book has another characters. If you get all the books, you can see like all the characters that live in Ireland. You know.
Yeah. We won't. We're not saying that we need to put every character from all the other books into the because they've been talked about. So
yeah.
We don't have to do that. Like that's another thing to think about too. Is like when we talk about. We're going to talk about the leadership about the other clans, but for the Pen Draig, we've already talked about the leadership quite a bit in Legends of against Fairy Queen. So, is it better to say like give them as much information or give them less information and say see against Fairy Queen, like just enough information to run them, right?
I think in the end, what I want to do for all of them is more give information about tribes and factions, and mention who the leaders are. But I don't think we need to go like deep dive on individual characters. There should be a broader perspective, and it's up to the GM to make individual characters, I guess, and they can make them their own kind of thing.
But maybe we do make a note about to learn more about these characters.
Oh yeah, true. Like, yeah, these one. Yeah, especially if it's you're right. That's a good point. Yeah. All right.
Well, I think that'd be.
I think we're done then. Hour and a half in. This is all the Pen Draig locations we've written about, unless there's something in against the Fairy Queen that I've missed.
Ooh, there's one more comment that I have.
Yes, please.
And on page 160, we have a quote from Enna.
Page 160 in Legends of Ireland, yeah? This is the one about war, being prepared for war.
My brothers and sisters. That one.
Yeah. My brothers and sister.
My brothers and sister. Though it may be presumptuous of me as the youngest Brendan here, I must say that we look to the south, where there is a threat growing ever larger. I entreat that we renew our alliance with the Pen Draig and Pen Levy. There is no shame in preparation, only in defeat. And a fourth of the Pen Draig Brennan. So she's the... Using that title there is interesting. Does that mean that she's a fourth in her line, or fourth of the four?
Fourth of the four, because she's the youngest.
Fourth of the four.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. Also, she's a bit more...
Oh, that's interesting though, you're right, because we didn't play into that against the Fairy Queen, but really then, if Talok is the oldest, he should be the first, the Pen Draig Brennan, right?
The first, yeah. So do they just change their title based?
Yeah. On seniority. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, well, that was just a little thing I caught.
And that's interesting as well, because Ride recently became Brennan as well, and her senior, Lilybeth, is quite old, so I imagine that she used to be the first. So caermons Lilybeth was the first, and then she retired literally, and then Talok became the first. Yeah.
Okay, so we should be aware of the numbering convention.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it's a throwaway thing, but yeah, it would be good to do that, and I think it sounds cool as well.
Yeah, it's funny, and it's unique to our world, so that's good.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, we got any other places to talk about?
I don't think so. I'd have to read through against the Fairy Queen to see if there's any throwaway mentions of places. But I think we kind of avoided that. I think we mentioned places, but we never give them names. For example, you go. Sorry.
I'm saying this just by the nature of it being a campaign book, everything is purposefully mentioned.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't see that being an issue. Cool. Yeah. All Right, I am satisfied with that, and thank you for taking a stroll down memory lane with us.
Yeah.
If you have any questions about the Pen Draig, this week we had what, our 300% more comments than normal. Is that right?
Oh yeah, and dude, this is our year anniversary. I forgot.
Happy 1 year anniversary!
Happy 1 year
Wonderful.
streaming anniversary. Yeah.
Yeah, I recall having some sort of promise to Zilphia. Zilphia, you have to remind me. Oh, but
No,
some sort of promise.
I remember. I remember. It's happening. Don't you worry. It's happening.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right,
it's happening.
So I just need to know.
Yeah.
So
In fact, I
thank
might
you
I might speak to her off stream sometime. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah, please do that. But yeah, happy 1 year anniversary. Yeah, I should go back and. How about this? I have a wild suggestion for stream content, and you tell me whether or not you want to do it. We should do a live react to our first stream.
No. And
No, you don't want to do that.
and I don't. I know. I remember what the first stream was. Do you not remember?
No, I don't.
The first stream was actually quite. The first stream, I told everyone, including all my friends, that we were doing it, and so we had a lot of chat interaction on our first stream, and we ended up making that Pen by the disease. We completely went off the rails
right.
and made something together. Someone in chat, I think my friend Joe, asked, "Do you have any diseases in Avalon?" And I was like, "Actually, we don't.
That's right.
We should make one." And so then we did that. And then, of course, all other streams, and that was when we were doing it late at night as well, so more people could attend. Yeah.
All right. We're yeah. That could still that may still all that content that we had make it to the secrets version. But oh yeah, we don't have to do that. Let's not do that. Let's just stay the course. Hey, bruv. Cool. Anything else?
No. I'm just checking
Alright.
to see if there's anything here. Other place, but I'll read this off stream, I guess. No.
Yeah. Oh, as he said, you did promise something, but never established what it was going to be.
Yeah.
That sounds like me as a father. That's my dad energy. That's when I tell my son, you do the thing, something good will happen, and then it nebulously goes into. But don't worry, Darren has a strong idea.
Yeah.
Happy 1 year, buddy.
Yeah.
Happy 1 year, guys.
All right then. So yeah, that's
Right.
it. All right. See you next week then.
I will see you next week. I need to sleep because my lungs are filled with fluid.
Cool. All right. Good night, Kurt. Thank you, everyone. See you next week. Take care, everyone.
Right.
Oh,
Hey,
actually,
guys.
read. We don't read everyone. I'm just gonna sign off today. It's fine. All right. Thanks, guys.
All right. Love y'all.